Hey, welcome to HorseHour. Guess who's with me? William Fox-Pitt. How are you?
Hi, I'm very good, thanks. Yeah, it's great to be here. It's a lovely summer day.
Oh, isn't it
down here in
gorgeous?
Sussex. I know, what a better place to be, Cowdrey Park.
It's been amazing because you've been here all day with Nic Roldan because he's got his sunset polo party this evening. Are you playing in the charity match later?
Well, I think I am. I thought initially I wasn't. I've been having polo lessons this morning, so I'm going to be an expert by the time this evening comes around. But I think the idea is they got a few extras, a few hangers-oners playing in the last chukker.
Okay.
Watch this space.
Oh, so we don't know who's going to be taking part then?
No.
That could be quite exciting. Yeah. It's like in football, isn't it? Really, when you're on the sideline on the bench, and are you going to get called? But I think based on watching you this morning with Nic, I don't think you should be on the bench. You should be in the first team.
You're being very polite.
No, you were good.
I've got some. I did hit the ball,
yes.
but I've got a bit of work needed to kind of improve that technique.
Did you enjoy playing polo?
It's fun. It's amazing. It's equestrian, but it's so different to what I do. The horses are different. The training's different, and they are so highly trained. It's a real thrill to have experienced it. It was great to watch Nic doing all his amazing tricks. He can just make it look like a piece of cake.
But you see, I think he had the advantage because he was learning with you today how to jump. And his girlfriend's a show jumper.
Exactly, that's a total cheat, isn't he? He's total cheat.
It was a little bit, I thought, but I thought you both did really well. What was fascinating watching from my perspective is the positions, the way that the different disciplines sit. Is that just because that's the way that you ride, or are you genuinely, did he teach you to sit in a different way to when you're eventing?
Yeah, it's quite different. I think it's as I said earlier on, it was just very strange being told to grip with my knees because anybody would tell me not to, and what I do. And he said, no, you've got to hold your knees because you've got to hold yourself on. And I said, well, you held yourself on your knees eventing, you'd be off. So it's a funny, changing things at my age is always a bit of hard work. And so there were things like that were just different methods and interesting to see. But, he does make it look very easy, doesn't he?
I know, it's not bad. In fact, our lovely Chloe, she had a go at polo today as well. And she's, you do more dressage, don't you, Chloe, really? And
it's amazing who had a go, wasn't it?
It's a bit scary. I think it looks quite intimidating because it's such high speed. I mean, by the end of it, you guys were galloping down the pitch and you made it look very, very natural. And you hit the ball a few times.
Were you really watching me?
No, I was, but was that difficult for you
I
then?
think the speed is exciting, but it's what the ponies do. It's amazing how they just get on and do it. The horses I ride would all be making everything look impossibly difficult, and those ponies do make things happen a bit easier, don't they? They just kind of they look at the ball and take you to it.
I know. What was fascinating is when everybody first got on, the instructor said, just move your leg left and the horse will go right. And I thought, I don't know any horse that you just move your leg left and it spins right. And I thought, wouldn't that be would there be elements of this that you might take forward with your eventing?
No.
Really?
No. I'm too old to be changing anything, and there's nothing there that would be relevant. I think it is just so different. The what you want is different, and therefore you achieve it in a different way. So I think a comparison, yes, it was interesting. Straightness and rhythm and that sort of thing is important, but if you watched a polo match, would you ever think that rhythm came into it?
No, never.
And yet that was something that Nic said that was very important to have, and how important that is. So those sort of basics are really part of it all. But I think, as you said, you've got to do funny things to make them do polo. You've got to know all the special aids.
Yeah, it's the technical side and the strategy that goes into it as well. I also found quite fascinating. It's not so much just getting on a horse and riding. Is there strategy? Well, I don't think anything's just getting on a horse and riding, really. But do you have a strategy when you're eventing? Is there? You're laughing at me now, but
no, I'm laughing at strategy. Doesn't seem to be a word that I would think about. But
really?
You probably have got a format, you've probably got a pattern that you work to, you've got a system that you believe in, and that I think is what it gives confidence. And I think the most important thing in training a horse is confidence in how you're doing it, and just believing you're going to get there in the end, and you're just taking your time.
Well, I believe it that I'm going to get there, but I never do, William. Like, I keep believing and I keep coming off.
Keep believing it. It's very important. It's a big part of it. And I think that confidence really transmits to the horse, and they then deliver.
And the horse that you had today was Rio. That's what is that the horse that you let Nick have a go on?
Yes, Nick was on Rio. Yes.
What's Rio like? Can you tell us a bit about him?
Rio's a super horse. He's he's an up and coming horse, young horse, and I knew Nick was a good rider, and I knew I hoped they would get on well. So he's quite a nice horse to start on. He can jump a jump. He can canter left and right. He's a doer, and I'm hoping he's going to be a good horse. But he's only an 8-year-old at the moment, so he's a teenager. Watch this space.
Oh, really? So what age do you think that you would then start? Would we expect to see him at the big competitions?
Well, certainly not. I wouldn't expect to see him anywhere exciting for a couple of years. But he's getting there. He started when he was 5, and he's coming along nicely.
Good. And how are you doing? Because, we did hear that you had an awful injury, an accident, and you've just come back and you're just doing incredibly well. Are you okay now?
No, very kind, thank you. I'm very lucky, aren't I? Goodness. Yeah. And we all have to survive those horrible moments, and that's part of sport, part of horses. And I suppose, I've been so lucky not to have had many, and that was just a bad day. And I've been very lucky to have come back. I've had great help from UK Sport and Lottery and all their programmes. I've seen more physios and counsellors than you can imagine existed. And I'm just enjoying now, being normal and just getting my feet back on the ground. And it hasn't been long. It's only been just over 18 months, so I'm still improving. Apparently they say these things go on improving, and I might think I'm fine, but sometimes it's quite obvious that you're not. But it's honestly it's I feel great, and I can do everything, so I'm seriously lucky.
You're really lucky. I mean, I felt for your poor wife, because she's the one that has to sit through and watch you when you're going through that. Very recently, I came off myself and lost my memory completely. And, 12 weeks later, I still have lapses and odd moments. And I think sometimes when it's with your head, it's hard to really understand. You feel okay, and it's everyone else around you that goes, she was a little bit loopy before, but she's really loopy now. But I'm really thrilled to see that you're doing so well, and that you've come out the other side of it and still showing us how to ride, that you can still ride a million times better than we can.
You're very kind. No, exactly. I've just been very lucky, and it's so nice to be able to put all that behind me. And my poor wife has survived and lived through quite a big nightmare for a while, because she didn't know what she's going to be left with, because I was unconscious for a couple of weeks, and she thought, well, how far, if he comes round, how far might he come round? And I think it was an ordeal for her, and it wasn't at all for me. I was fine.
But how amazing that you can look at her now and go, right, this one really, this one's for life. I know she's going to stick with me. She's amazing.
Well, she put up with that.
Well, it's brilliant. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is all because of Jeep. They've been great at bringing William and Nick together, and it's for the Sunset Polo party tonight, raising money for the Brooke. You can donate, and also Chestnut Treehouse. If you'd like to donate, then you just need to text horse to 70300, and you can donate via Nick's website too, Nic Roldan. And we will see you, hopefully, if you're off the bench later on tonight.
Yes, watch this space.
Thanks so much, William. We'll see you soon.